Good evening. Tonight we go after the story of a young actor who seems destined to become Hollywood's biggest star. He's Tony Perkins, and he has a $15 million price tag. That's what Paramount Pictures has invested to make him our next Clark Gable or Gary Cooper. If you're curious to know what this does to a young man who was almost unknown only 3 years ago, and what Tony Perkins thinks of stardom, of Hollywood's values, and of some news stories which picture him as a brooding misfit, we'll go after those stories in just a moment. My name is Mike Wallace. The cigarette is Parliament.
The new high filtration filter, Parliament, presents the Mike Wallace Interview.
We'll talk with Tony Perkins in just a moment. Unless the filter on your cigarette is recessed, it's only doing part of the job. That's why we say now Parliament with the recessed filter is best. That's this cigarette, the new Hi-Fi Parliament. The proof? Suppose I show you. First, Parliament is best because only Parliament can give you over 30,000 traps. No other popular cigarette delivers less nicotine and tar. Second, unlike ordinary filters, Parliament's filter is recessed, set deep down inside here, so that trapped nicotine and tar can't get on your lips. And third, because it's recessed, there's no bitter taste of trapped nicotine and tar to spoil Parliament's pure tobacco flavor. Remember, Parliament is continuously tested by the independent laboratories of the United States Testing Company. Over 30,000 traps, exclusive recessed filter, flavor pure protection. Yes, smoke the best. Hi-Fi Parliament, now at popular price. And now to our story.
Welcome to Fly By Films, a once or twice a month podcast where, using the magic or demonry of distance-defying tubes, myself and my little minion across the country get together and discuss the world's most terrifying films. Why are they terrifying? Because they remind you of your own mortality and the forgetfulness of your life and how you will not be remembered.
That was good. That is Oscar bait right there.
Yeah.
You were really channeling some Bela Lugosi on that one.
The Podskers. Yeah.
Podskers.
So, yeah, that's our official submission to the Podskers. No, welcome. Yeah. Blake, how's it going?
It's good. It's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
How could it be any better?
Yeah.
It's the best day of the year.
I could tell you how it could
according
be.
to me, not you. Apparently, Thanksgiving is your favorite, whatever that means.
Dude, Thanksgiving is so much better. But Halloween is like Thanksgiving Eve, so I can't be upset at it.
That's so weird.
Hey,
you're such a weirdo.
No, it is good. It's all good with me.
It's all good in the hood.
You know what I could tell you what would make Halloween better.
What's up?
If we tried to accomplish the impossible. Do you know what I'm talking about, Blake? Do you know what the impossible is?
Finally break down and understand and solve the Oedipus complex?
Even more impossible than that.
Whoa. What? I'm on pins and needles here.
The impossibility that I'm talking about is we are going to cut this episode off at an hour. This is an hour episode. I know
we're
we
cutting
had
it
some
off an
discussion.
hour?
We're cutting it off in an hour. How many movies do we have to discuss tonight, Blake?
We have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
Oh, yeah.
But
Wait.
6. 6 movies.
I missed one.
Oh, wait, no. I miscounted.
Yeah, okay.
This is why you're the mathematician. I'm not.
Well, I forgot to add that, so we're going to cover 5 movies, and Blake is going to have to count to 5, which we've already shown is impossible. So,
turns out we're doing something more impossible than me counting to 5.
Yeah. No, we're going to try to cover 5 movies in an hour, and all of the bullshit that we have to talk about.
Ooh, okay. We'll do this shit. What are you drinking, sir? I see that you're drinking some tasty libation.
I'm drinking a Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest.
Fest beer.
Fest beer. Collab.
Is it good?
With
I don't think I've ever had an
Gutmann.
Oktoberfest by them.
It is fine. It's
steering endorsement right there.
It's fine. Over the summer they have one of my favorite beers, Sunny Little Thing, and
that is a good one.
They ran out in like July. They stopped selling it. And I was mad, and I'm still mad because I'm like, okay, yeah, Oktoberfest is fine. I know I'm supposed to be getting out of the summer months and into the cozy, fall flavors and whatnot, but I'm salty that they didn't make enough Sunny Little Things. Those tasted like if you were like, okay, a Capri Sun or like Sunny Delight, but make it beer. And I'm not saying it's not like overly fruity or sweet. It's just that refreshing. So that's my Syrian endorsement of a beer.
I am full on dark beer right now. But the problem is that every time I crack one open, I look at the temperature and it's still in the fucking 80s. And I'm like, man, this is really killing my vibe here. We should not be getting up to 90 in October. It's just global warming.
Is it still in? It hasn't cooled down for you guys?
It hit 90 the other day in Tulsa.
So it's been for about a week. It's been in the 70s, and it's trending downward. So we're
we're generally trending downward, but we keep getting these little pop-ups.
Stay the fuck away.
Yeah,
seriously, like we had an 100-degree day like early October, and everyone was mad about it. And then yeah.
That's fucking stupid. That's some presidential election bullshit right there.
I know. Who knew the October surprise would be tied to the weather?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh. So I saw a post on Reddit that was in the Sacramento subreddit. Blake, do you know how Reddit works? I don't know.
Vaguely. Okay. I've used it a few times.
Yeah, there's basically forums.
Not effectively.
Yeah, there's basically forums to post in, and they're related to certain subjects.
It's like an old school message board, but not near as cool.
Yeah. It's just sure. I don't care. But the Sacramento one, we're like very close to Sacramento, so we share a lot in their weather. And someone posted, they were like, 60-degree days, for the next 14 days, I'm calling it. We're in the winter months. And then the highest rated comment after that was like, don't celebrate too hard. You're gonna cause summer winter. And
Summer, winter.
that is the feeling all around here is like, if you don't knock on wood after you say like that's the last 100-degree day,
That's
then
pretty
there's
much the
another
story of the southern Midwest.
one. Mm-hmm.
Is that summer, winter, and
Summer,
like
winter.
maybe a week or two of the other seasons. But that's about it.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's stupid.
It is so stupid. So, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you can hear the surroundings. But since this is Halloween, we are actually doing this recording while taking our kids trick-or-treating.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bob, those apples, Hazel.
No, stop dunking Owen's head in the water, Seamus. It's not an apple.
Yeah.
No, we're not actually doing that. This is not actually Halloween. But this is going out on Halloween. It's time travel.
Yeah, that bit is gonna confuse people because they're gonna be like, wait, it's Halloween while I'm listening to it. Because our listeners are on pins and needles to listen to this when it's released, even if it's on a holiday. Right.
And I just want to point out the absolute impossible miracle that is this year's Halloween podcasting shows. I mean, we are cutting it close on this one.
Yes.
We have done 3 years in a row on time with 4 to 5 episodes weekly on time. And we are going to do it again this year because we are recording right now against all odds. We're going to do it in an hour. And we've already lost 10 minutes. So
I wouldn't call that lost. That's quality 10 minutes.
It is quality 10 minutes.
You got me riffing at the beginning.
Yeah.
With a cold.
I mean, I was wondering why I was getting turned on.
Yeah. I mean, what? I'm sure the listeners are going to have to pause after that.
It's weird
maybe
that
take a cold shower.
It's weird that you're cold in such hot weather.
I know. I'm an anomaly. What can I say?
You're an anomaly. A mathematical anomaly.
Blake, what are you going to do for Halloween?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Well, we were talking a little bit about this earlier, but I think either we're going to find another neighborhood besides our neighborhood because our neighbors are not great at the whole Halloween thing. Or we're toying with the idea of finding a rest home, nursery home, nursing home, or memory facility or something like that to go trick-or-treating at, because apparently it's a thing that a lot of them do on Halloween, just as a way to kind of cheer up the spirits, but not, nothing gets smiles on faces like idiot little kids trouncing around in costumes, and all they really care about is the candy. But hey, people like to look at little kids, and not in a creepy way. I mean, in a creepy way too, but that's against the law. So,
but it's the kids who are being creepy.
Well, yeah, because they're trying to jack candy. Old bastards.
That's true.
So yeah, well, that's what we're gonna aim to do. Which this would be officially the first year that we've actually gone trick-or-treating with the kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, basically, because, I mean, Seamus is 3, Owen's 1. The last couple of years, because the non-event that is our neighborhood, we've always been deciding at last minute, and that's just, how that goes. You can't be doing shit last minute with kids. So
no, I get that. I mean, you don't have to lie. You can tell me it was because it wasn't until this year that you realized that Halloween isn't satanic and it's not gonna damn your souls to go trick or treat.
Oh no,
But
I'm dousing myself in holy water.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I fully believe in the demonic nature of this holiday. I'm going to be carrying a rifle around or a shotgun with salt packed in. We're not fucking around on this, okay?
I mean, you know,
I ain't afraid of
tho-
no ghosts.
those old people have had plenty of experiences. Who knows what portals they have inside of them for demons,
Probably
right?
in their very rooms.
Yeah. I'm just saying, they're like, you know how like old tech is very uh kind of open to hackers getting
Yeah.
in?
Mm-hmm.
That's, you get my
Yeah.
analogy. You get it.
I get it.
No offense. No offense. You just need an
Yeah.
upgrade. You know?
And this, you know what this conversation has made me want to do? Is finish this recording and go watch Bubba Hotep.
Oh, yeah. Blake, well, I wish you a very happy Halloween and that it goes really well and that the kids have a blast. So,
Yeah. Well, what are you and Hazel and Kira doing?
I'm taking a half day at work, so that's exciting. I'm
But
super
you don't
excited
fucking
for
do
that.
that for Thanksgiving, do you? Huh?
No, I take a
Huh?
full week off for
God
Thanksgiving.
damn it.
I am taking the next day off for Halloween for just
This year I'm
where I
taking
can.
a full week off for Thanksgiving. How do you like
Oh,
that
hey,
shit?
I like it. Welcome, Blake. Blake, Thanksgiving is a holiday of sharing and caring. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
boast. I'm not
Sharing
trying to.
sharing blankets with populations and decimating them. Yes, I fully understand the nature of this holiday. That's not sharing. Sharing is not always caring.
Blake, what's your address again? I have a blanket to send you.
Oh, you know my
Um,
address.
I do. I've already sent that blanket.
It'll
You're
be in the
you're
mail.
you're toast. But yeah, what am I doing? So I'm working half a day, and then the second half of the day, our downtown, which we're very close to in Chico, is it does Treat Street. So all the businesses open up and they do trick or treating for the kids, and it fills with families. We're gonna dress up as a family of Totoros.
Oh,
Actually,
nice.
I haven't gotten an answer if the correct plural of that is a family of Totoro or a family of Totoros. So I'm
I think
still
it's.
wondering.
I think it's actually there's a third option. A
Totorai.
family. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. A family of Totorai.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your bit. I just got excited about that. Um, yeah. Yeah, that's funny, Blake. Um, so we're gonna do that. I'm very excited. My bargain bin costume is still good enough that Hazel recognized that it was Totoro, so I was like, okay, if it's good enough for Hazel, is perfect. And then we're
Has
gonna
he
take
seen
him
the
to do.
movie?
Yes, so it was his
Okay,
first movie. I think I mentioned that on a podcast a while back. You don't need to
gotcha.
remember that.
Okay.
But we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna go across the street and trick or treat there, and then just have a chill night. Probably watch a spooky movie. Yeah. So
Which one?
I have not picked the
Is it
movie,
gonna be a
nor
classic or is it gonna be new?
it depends on if it's just Kira and I watching the movie versus if it's uh, more people. Because if it's Kira's parents and other people, it can be scary. Like it could be like, but it probably has to be more known to keep everybody's
That's
attention.
fair.
Whereas if I put on like Skinamarink for just a random audience, then I'm gonna find myself divorced and
What you could do? You could do
alone.
Cuckoo.
I could do Cuckoo. I was gonna
It'd be
ask.
weird as fuck.
It would be weird. Actually, I think Cuckoo's not a bad option. I think Kira's family. Well, I think Kira's dad would enjoy Cuckoo, but we did just watch Cuckoo, so
Yeah, that's fair.
Probably not gonna watch it again.
Yeah,
and that was based
you don't want that much Dan Stevens in your life. That's for sure.
I've got so much Dan Stevens lately. I watched Abigail over the weekend.
Yeah,
and
I
then
did too.
On your recommendation, I think we swapped recommendations here. I watched Cuckoo. So
yeah, I was down. I was down with both of them. I was very pleased.
They were both really really fun. Abigail had like a little bit more of a like, balls to the wall, kind of like campy action vibe to it. Although Cuckoo had a lot of guns at the end, so it got pretty actiony too.
It did. It was so weird. It was so totally weird.
I think so. I was originally thinking that like Longlegs, to kind of bring back Longlegs into this, I was like, oh, Longlegs has all of this David Cronenberg vibes to it. Fuck that. Cuckoo dethrones it as the most Cronenberg movie of the year. 100%. I mean, other than Shrouds, which I haven't seen yet, which is actually a David Cronenberg movie that came out this year. So.
Oh, I didn't even know that. So, as our friends over at the at a podcast called The Fear of God, Reed and Nathan, Nathan is one of the people I watched Cuckoo with this weekend, and he said that there was going to be a sequel called Kachoo.
Boo.
It was brilliant. I thought it was great. That was a great.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
a callback to Arrested Development. Come on.
I mean, that's a callback to the Beatles, Blake.
Let's not fucking talk about that. Let's let it be the best version of it, and that's Arrested Development.
I mean, no, that would be for a sequel for the movie Goo Goo
Dolls,
Jew, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, I know I was booing, but that was a boo out of game recognizing game with bad. Yeah.
That's pretty much all our show is trying to come up with stupid shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. We watched some good movies this weekend, apparently.
Yeah. So
that's what we do.
I think you watched more than me this weekend. I think I got 2 new movies in, which was like great. But you had an adventure and you just like binged a bunch of movies, right?
We try to once a year get a group of guys together and go to someplace. This year it was in Crestline, California. And we play board games, watch horror movies, hike, whatever. Whatever suits our fancy. And we did watch a crap ton of movies. So, old and new. I mean, old, probably the oldest being The Fog.
Mm-hmm.
And then the newest being, well, either Cuckoo or Romulus or Speak No Evil. I don't know which one came out the most recent one. But, yep, it was good. Good stuff. Oh, Smile 2, technically, I think, is the most recent. So,
yeah, that came out a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't like that one.
No, I did not like that one.
What did you think of? Well, okay, 2 questions. Have you seen the original Speak No Evil yet? And what did you think of the American one?
I have not seen the original Speak No Evil, but after I watched the American one, I asked someone in the group who had seen the original what the differences were. And he said the whole like last 20 minutes of the movie is completely different. And in typical fashion, Americans kind of tame it a little bit because we don't like discomfort. I mean, don't get me wrong. There were still some really kind of uncomfortable elements in the American one, but apparently it just like the I think it's Danish. The Danish one goes just hard. Like,
yeah,
you feel every single minute of the discomfort of the situation you're in. So, but
yeah,
I know that there's a lot more horrific stuff in the original one. So, did you see the original one?
I did see the original one, and I have a lot of respect for it, and I don't, I think it succeeds quite a bit. And I think that's partly because of the end, but it's really really kind of a terrible feeling after you've watched it. It's not good. And so like I could see wanting to remake it and make it more interesting to American audiences in that way. But I also like lose interest in it when you're like, "Oh, that's the unique thing about this movie."
Yeah.
And you're taking it away, so you're just left with okay.
Yeah. Well, and I think this is something that we discussed a lot this weekend is the idea of whether a movie that's trying to do something, I don't know, trying to get at something that's seemingly inevitable or hopeless or really dark or something like that, depressing, whatever it may be. It really has to have conviction to pull it off. And so, like, from the sounds of it, the original Speak No Evil had conviction in what it was doing. It's saying, this is what we're going for, and we're going hard. And this is the feeling we want to get past or get through to people. Whereas Smile 2 is a raging mess that goes really dark and hopeless, but it doesn't really have the conviction behind it. And so it's an interesting concept, but I mean, it sounds like if I were to watch the original Danish one, then I would probably recognize the kind of pull back on the conviction in the American one in some ways.
Yeah, maybe. And you might be like, Jamie, you're full of shit. That's not a good movie. That made me feel terrible, and there was no point to that.
I mean, I know how it ends, so I'm going into it. I'm not going into it blind. So,
but yeah, I do think the movie remains compelling the entire time and just keeps dragging you. And I think it's definitely up there with like the Funny Games and some of these movies that are kind of classics of this. Why are you watching this genre?
Well, it's the transgression of modern etiquette and manners to an extreme. Because what the classic line in both versions of Speak No Evil is, whenever they ask, why are you doing this, and they say, well, because you let us. It's because you never said no.
No, and no. So I think it's worth your time. I don't recommend it because it's hard to recommend unless someone's like, hey, I really want to watch something fucked up tonight, and then I'll be like, oh, okay. Here's the thing. It's it's a well-made movie. You're gonna need to take a shower afterwards, so at least plan to stay up 10 minutes later. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of fucked up relationships, I feel like we probably ought to get into our actual topic of the night, which is the sprawling Psycho franchise.
Not quite everything under the sun.
Not quite.
But almost.
And I didn't get one of the 5 watched.
Yeah, you
So
didn't. So you
I failed.
you did fail.
Yeah. This is not a flawless Fly By Films episode.
Well, let's just set the record straight. I planned well. I planned better than you for this
It's
one.
true. You did.
I I saw this coming and I went on to Amazon. I paid my dues to the Bezos and
Fucking
found
Bezos.
I found a copy of all three
Sequels.
Anthony Perkins sequels to the original Psycho because I knew, oh, the original Psycho, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I can watch it there. Don't know where I can find Psycho 2 or 3, which actually are on Netflix, or at least 2 is.
Mm-hmm.
And just so happens this DVD, all, in the same package, Psycho 4. Great.
Beautiful.
I'll just get them all. And then
I'll rent Psycho the remake. And then
yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I got mine in. So I'm just a better planner than Blake.
This is true. This is true. But let me ask you, Jameson. Had you seen any of these movies except for the first Psycho?
I forgot that there was a Psycho 2. And that's not true. I remembered there was a Psycho 2. You couldn't have gotten me to remember that there was a Psycho 3. And I don't think I'd ever heard of Psycho 4. So
Until Ryan Ellington. Yep.
Yeah, until Ryan Ellington was like, "You guys are gonna watch all 4 Psychos," and we were like, "Oh shit!"
Ooh. And then I
guess
was like,
we have
"Are you
to."
fucking with me?" Yeah.
To be fair, it turns out Psycho
It's a
4
TV
is
movie.
it's a TV movie.
And
It's a
this is
fucking
how
TV movie.
And this is how I made it okay with my soul. Is it doesn't really count. It's a TV movie.
You don't really count. It has Anthony Perkins in it.
This is true. Okay, fine. I'm a real shithead. Nonetheless, you know
Thank
what
you.
I do remember? Like, I had never seen any of the other films, including the remake. I'd seen Psycho probably 3 or 4 times in my life. But you know what I did remember? Like, I knew there were sequels to Psycho, but you know what I remember the most of all of them? I
What?
remember the box art of Psycho 3, where it's Anthony Perkins, older, holding up the keys.
Oh yeah.
I have a strong memory of seeing that as a kid, walking down the aisles in the movie, like the rental store. Never saw it, never cared anything about it as a kid. I didn't know what it was, but I remember that box art for whatever reason. And so, whenever I saw it again, I was like, "Oh man, I'm getting massive nostalgia here." But
Yeah.
I never seen them.
There's definitely VHS movie store vibes to
Oh yeah,
watching these movies.
mm-hmm.
I know I watched mine on DVD, but I think Psycho 2, I do remember, seeing similar experience, seeing a VHS cover of that and
Yeah.
thinking, why is there a Psycho 2? But,
So the first question I want to ask, and this is one I was thinking about when I was watching the original Psycho again.
mm-hmm.
I was asking myself, do I really like this movie? Or is it just its reputation that it's a Hitchcock and that it has such high acclaim in the film world that I have to like bow down to its mastery?
Blake, this is such an interesting question. And I have a hot take related to it, but I need you to go.
I got bored with this movie. And if I'm honest, I'm not sure but what I didn't get bored the other times I watched it. I think maybe the very first time it was like an event, and okay, I was like, oh, I don't exactly know what's going to happen here, so like, okay, yeah, I'm down with wherever it's going to take me. But afterwards, I mean, you strip away the surprise at the end, and there's not a whole lot there, honestly. I will say that the most like there was one part of the movie that I was actually kind of like in awe of, technically, and that was the opening scene where they're like that he's floating over Arizona or Phoenix, Arizona, and it felt so like now and not 1969
60.
or
Yeah.
1960.
Yeah.
Like it felt so like the film looked fresh, the way it was shot, and then that the kind of closing in on the apartment and things like that. I thought that was really fabulous filmmaking. The movie itself, it was fine. I think Anthony Perkins is great. I think he's the centerpiece for good reason. But I found myself getting bored. What do you think?
I think the first. How long is this movie? Like 100 minutes, 110 minutes? I don't know. Okay,
I think it's a little over 90.
Yeah, let's say it's 100 minutes long. I think the first 90 minutes hold up to that. And then the penultimate scene.
Oh, it's horrible.
Is this horrible dissection of what you just saw.
Yeah.
By old white men who are just futzing about with the idea of a cross-dressing killer.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the worst psychoanalysis that you could ever see in a movie and ever think about, and it's just
not only that, but it's a massive exposition dump.
It's just terrible filmmaking, even in 1960. It's just a bad
for
scene.
Hitchcock.
And it's right in between this terrifying, like, near murder or near killing, where the mother is revealed, and then Perkins is defanged or deknifed, and then this other terrifying scene where Perkins is smiling at the camera and smirking at it, and that's a great way to end the movie. But just sandwiched in between is this horrible, just stupid scene. I remember as a kid when I saw this movie, as an 11-year-old, thinking, this scene is stupid. Why do I need this scene? And I was dumb. And I could still recognize that it was dumb. Outside of that, I actually think the movie does hold up. I think it's good. However, I will say, now, 60 years later, when I watched it this time, I watched it with two people who hadn't seen it before.
Okay.
Two adults my age. They were like, yeah, all the acting was bad, and it felt like, it felt like old acting, except for Perkins. They were like,
what's so funny is I think the acting was pretty great. I just thought the plotting of it was, I don't know.
So I thought that was a little unfair too.
Yeah.
But I think despite that, they were still able to recognize the greatness of Perkins.
Yeah.
And so I think this movie gets a lot of accolades for being technically proficient.
Yeah.
And you have all of these like wonderful shots, and Hitchcock gets a lot of that. But I think a lot of what that is exemplified by that terrible scene in the movie. by boring ass men talking about why these things are so great and why this is the way this is, and
Mm-hmm.
all of these things, fit perfectly in this interlocking way. And it's not about the heart of the story
No.
or the fear of the story. And to me, when I watched it this time, and when I continued on in the later episodes, that heart was beating in Anthony Perkins.
Yeah.
And when you watch the sequels, they are a lot more, they're like, they're cheesier, they're schlockier in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
They're more melodramatic. And well, okay, maybe the original Psycho is melodramatic in kind of an operatic way,
Yeah.
but these are like
80s
soap
cheese.
operas.
Yeah.
Yeah. These have kind of a soap opera feel to it, but you have Perkins kind of dealing with the character of it. And I
Mm-hmm.
think you can tell through these movies that fascinated him,
Yeah.
and he wanted to continue exploring that. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's like, I was kind of blown away by that he is the heart of this series. Like, we give it to Hitchcock because he invented it, he wrote this movie, it's great,
Mm-hmm.
he created it. Sure, credit where credit's due. And it is a well-made movie with very, very wonderful scenes.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have worked without Perkins. And in another fascinating way, Perkins takes it and creates something unique spinning out of that into these
Yeah.
sequels. So
Yep.
that's my hot take.
Yep. No, I think that's a good hot take. Yeah, it's so interesting seeing these films. Like this was a pleasant surprise of
Mm-hmm.
as far as franchise like blind spots go for me. I did not go into this expecting to be taken by these films, honestly. But
Mm-hmm.
I found myself really like enjoying the
Mm-hmm.
franchise as a whole. Yeah, it's not perfect, and yeah, there's a lot of cheese and a lot of bad acting and spots and things like that. But I mean, Anthony Perkins is irresistible. I mean, he's great. Um, One of the most terrifying scenes is with him reprising his role as mother in number three, and
Mm-hmm.
like the shadow of his face is like partially obscured, and it is literally the most terrifying scene of the franchise in my opinion. Um, and it's
Mm-hmm.
because whoever hack they got to direct the third. Oh, it was Anthony Perkins. That's right.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
they nailed it. Like
Mm-hmm.
they were like, okay, we're gonna make this sinister, and it was
Yeah.
sinister in a way that not even the first one could pull it off. Um,
Yeah.
and so yeah, it's he's just so like, and you brought up something really fascinating in a chat after I think you watched probably the second one, but
Mm-hmm.
you were saying that this reminded you of a lot of David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy and the idea of
Mm.
reintroducing evil back into a community.
Yeah.
And so when you told me that, I was thinking about number two. And for those who haven't seen the movies, I'll spoil this one aspect of the second Psycho is that there's a conspiracy to basically bring Norman Bates down by the
Mm-hmm.
sister of his original of Marion Crane,
Mm-hmm.
and her daughter, who is playing a part and infiltrating Norman Bates's house and life and trying to drive him crazy, basically. Um, what I found so fascinating about this is that if you think about the nature of reintroducing evil back into it, it has to have a catalyst. And the catalyst in this case, and I think you can make a case for how the first Halloween in 2018, is that there is someone that is trying to prod where they don't need to prod.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a world in which Norman Bates came out of a psychiatric hospital and lived the rest of his life just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But the 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 vengeance of the sister drove him to become once again the person he used to be,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of starts that vicious cycle over. And I think of like the podcasters in Halloween 2018, and I think of the Doctor, who like
Mm-hmm.
Loomis is so infatuated with understanding evil that he empowers him to be brought back into Haddonfield. And so
He opens the gate.
he opens the gate, yeah, literally. And so yeah, I what I found so fascinating about the second one is because it had to have that twist. It had to be someone tied to the first movie that was tricking him in order to, in their mind, get justice. But
Mm-hmm.
what happens when you try to get justice when justice has already been served? That's when dire consequences happen, and then we get the original Norman Bates again,
Mm-hmm.
and he becomes that again by the end of it. So, but I don't know. Did you have other thoughts? I mean, you're the one who
I
brought it up in the first place, you sack of shit.
Yeah. No.
My mind
So
has been reeling about this comparison for the last 2-3 weeks.
I mean, it is fascinating. I guess, I mean, that's what the movie made me think of was this idea of reintroducing, but in this case, it's not it's not that you have the embodiment of evil. Like, there's not even I don't think there's any question of, of should Michael Myers be let out, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, kind of. There's people saying different things, but it's not. He's being transferred,
Yeah,
places, and things go wrong. But at no point does he ever like say, "Oh, I'm sorry for what I did. I
yeah,
understand
no.
it. I comprehend it." Norman
He's simply the
Bates,
shape.
yeah, he's the shape, yeah. Like you said, Norman Bates is is a person, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what makes kind of his villain so interesting too. And I actually think that this is um despite uh what Hitchcock was trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
because I think Hitchcock was trying to create a monster, and Perkins felt, no, this is a man too.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, you get a unique villain who is both, and I think a lot of times in cinema history, you just have, the the recognizable villains are the ones that go full villain, but this is a case where, somehow they got it right with the balance of,
Yeah.
a man monster, and or man momster, um um and and I think that's part of it too, like embodying the whole nature of evil of your family too. but
Oh yeah.
uh but I don't even need to get into that because whatever. But like, yeah, it just was fascinating to me, the idea of someone who you could see there was remorse, but knew that they had impulses or
Mm-hmm.
mental blockers that could drive them into other areas, And how that kind of spirals out again and kind of replays itself. And like you said, the people who poke the bear. Yeah, so that was kind of my thoughts about 2. 3 is kind of the same. I think I'm in the minority here. I liked 3 the most.
Really? Okay.
I
All right.
did. I
I
I
can
did
get with this. I mean,
because
I'm not sure which one I like the most, but I enjoy 3 a lot. So
I think 3 was weirder
yeah,
than 2, and I think I just dug that.
yeah.
I don't know.
Plus, it
I
had the
think
lawnmower man in it.
yes. Yeah. It it
What a
did.
piece of shit that guy was.
Although 2 had the guy from NYPD Blue
That
in
is
it.
true.
So,
Dennis
and
Ryan's.
actually I think I like the music in 3 the most too. It was Carter Burwell.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So,
Nice tie back to the McDonough films, yeah.
yeah, McDonough films and plenty of
And plenty of others.
Coen Brothers movies,
Coen
yeah.
Brothers, you know?
Yeah. But this one, it was like weird synth.
Yeah.
It was very much 80s electronic.
And there's this weird, like, religious overlay on the whole film
Mhm.
because the central one of the central characters is a nun who's left the convent after accidentally killing the mother
Oh
of the
yeah,
convent.
that was such a batshit opening
God,
too.
no kidding. I mean, that kind of opening reminds me of how I felt when I went to see Halloween Ends. The opening on
Mhm.
that and being like, what the fuck does this have to do with Halloween?
Yeah.
Little did I know.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say I didn't like the fourth one, which is where I will give you it Perkins is back. He doesn't direct it. It's told in an episodic fashion,
And
and
he's barely
it
in it, right?
no, he's in it, but he's telling a history. So it does kind of the prequel sequel thing.
Gotcha.
The Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah, it's kind of annoying, and it does kind of pose this question of he gets back and he lives his life kind of normally, like he has a wife in it. So it kind of seems like it ignores the second and third one,
Hmm.
which just maybe bothered me a little bit. But I think the worst part about it is it there's this really weird retelling of him and his mom, and I just didn't jive with it. I didn't like it. It was
Yeah.
boring. It was but there's an attempt to there's still Anthony Perkins. I think he's still great.
Basically, what you're
There
telling me is that it was the white men futzing around trying to explain Norman Bates for an hour and a half.
Yeah, no, it felt like that. It actually did feel like it was trying to crib from the original Psycho a lot
Gotcha.
more than the other ones too. It Even the music was kind of borrowed from
Mm-hmm.
Psycho, so it really it felt like it was trying to like correct course, but I didn't think that it needed to. So, but it's a curiosity.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, maybe one day I'll watch it,
yeah,
but that's not really high praise. I'm not gonna. It's gonna have to be really, really deprived ability to watch anything else for me to watch it, probably. But oh well.
yeah. One,
Um,
2, and 3 are worth your time.
yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I really was pleased with 2 and 3. I
Hmm.
I did not go into either one of them expecting a whole lot, and I
No.
came out. I was like, man, I really like Anthony Perkins, and part of me kind of wants to go and watch some of his other films to see what kind of
Hmm.
range he had. And of course, if you know his background and the big secret that he lived most of his life pretty much denying, uh, it adds a whole new layer to these movies
Yeah.
um, in so many ways. So
Yeah.
um,
I think number 4 was released like pretty soon or close to like when he died. I think
gotcha,
it was like 93 when he died, and that was in like 92, 91 or something like
gotcha.
that. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Anthony Perkins, man, a good actor,
yeah.
and even a good
Uh
director.
yeah.
So I feel like in our final 7 minutes, we should really
Let
try to parse out our feelings for the remake by another uh, agent provocateur, Gus Van Sant, who I
yeah.
remember when this movie came out and how it was such a big fucking deal that it was and I remember this wording exactly, a scene by scene remake, which is bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. It's not scene by scene. They had so much shit in this movie for no reason.
Yeah. Well,
And
I
they
think the
keep the
first
dumbest part.
Oh yeah.
They just have Robert Forster deliver all
Yeah.
the stupid ass lines. And that makes me sad because I love Robert Forster.
I love
He doesn't
Robert
deserve that.
Forster. I know. I know. I was like, it's Agent Truman.
Exactly.
He plays Truman. I don't know. Have you seen any of Twin Peaks yet?
I mean, I've seen the first half of the first season.
Okay. So that's a different guy, but in
I mean,
the
I knew he shows up in it. I just didn't know what part
yeah,
he played.
he plays the original Agent Truman's brother in the
Gotcha.
third season. But yeah. Yeah, I was surprised to see him, but sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh
did you like the remake?
I don't know, but I am like, okay, that's not as bad as people make it seem. I think it gets like more of a negative rap because it was trying to uh trying to remake this masterpiece. So I think people were like, "Why are you doing this, Gus Van Sant?" But I actually it made me want more things like that because I
Hmm.
felt like, oh, no, there's actually some potential here if you just made different decisions,
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
And I thought while there's not quite the heart to it, I
mhm.
still found Vince Vaughn to be a pretty solid Norman Bates. Um,
I
in a
I think
weird kind of like I think his infatuation with the lollipops was hilarious. Um,
I think he was creepy. I'll give him that. I thought he was too intense in some of the scenes. Like there was one scene, oh, when he and whatever her name is, Anne Hesh in this
oh
movie.
yeah, which was that's a whole nother issue that I have with the movie.
Yeah, yeah, but when they're talking and she's saying have you ever thought to put your mom in a home, he gets like visibly angry at that,
Hmm.
whereas like um Anthony Perkins is like concerned, like why would you think that way,
Yeah,
and to
he's
me,
curious. He's curious.
yeah.
Why would you do that instead of getting mad at her?
Yeah, I think that like puts it more back. It like makes you feel less threatened, but more kind of like, oh. is something wrong with me for suggesting that
Yeah.
rather than like, oh, I'll tell you whatever you want to get you to calm down.
It's almost like Gus Van Sant was almost psychologizing Norman Bates with making it a typical response.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing I learned, Anthony Perkins is 6'2". Vince Vaughn is 6'5". So
Oh,
Vince Vaughn was the taller Norman Bates. Um, Oz Perkins is also 6'5".
Wow.
Yeah. So Kira, her reaction when she saw Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates was, oh, he's not nearly as attractive.
That's fair.
I
That is
actually
fair.
think that's an interesting idea too, which is also double interesting because Gus Van Sant is gay, so you'd think that he
Mm-hmm.
would choose,
Yeah.
attractive leads, and maybe he does find Vince Vaughn attractive. I don't know, but I think it's interesting to require attractiveness for this role just because of oh yeah, this is why people keep finding themselves in this situation.
Well, he has a seductive quality to him. Like
Hmm.
he's your typical spider in the fly. He's just drawing them in, and
Yeah,
it's because he has that kind of all American boy kind of look to him. He doesn't.
yeah,
You see him, he's not threatening.
yeah. When you hear him talk about how, like, oh yeah, they built the highway, we were they built it around us and no one stops by anymore. You totally believe that he's just down and out,
Yeah, yeah.
like
And
you're like,
he's
oh
almost
yeah,
goofy. He's almost goofy.
yeah,
Like just the way he's
yeah,
like he's socially inept and like
yeah.
just almost country, but without the
Hmm.
typical, cliche stereotypes of country.
Yeah, but he's also sharp too.
Yeah,
Like yeah, I think that helps with the not being like a bumpkin,
yeah.
right? And honestly, Vince Vaughn didn't capture all of that for
No,
me.
no.
Again, maybe it was a hard task to ask that he would, but yeah. So I think that's the most disappointing thing about the remake. Other things that are kind of weird is that first scene that you talked about,
Hmm.
like you go into this hotel room and then maybe it's shot for shot. I know you already covered that and you debunked
Yeah,
that. You were like, no, it's
yeah,
not. But even
yeah.
if you like accepted that, it's 100% not sound for sound because you go into
It's
this room and immediately you just start hearing people fucking all over
yeah,
and you're
or
like,
getting the shit
oh,
kicked out of him. Yeah,
yeah, you're
and
like,
and
oh,
and
this
that could have
wasn't
been
in.
such a fascinating thing if he had done like a shot for shot, but not sound for sound. Because
Yeah.
whenever this movie first started and they were like going into the apartment, you have the same kind of beautiful shot of Phoenix, and it's like going through the whole process, and you're like, okay, well, whatever. And then it drills in on this apartment complex, but it's old and it's decaying, and it's like, and then you get
Hmm.
inside and you hear people fucking, and you hear people like, men beating their wives and crap, like all sorts of stuff, and all this is happening in the background, and you're like, oh, okay, this might be interesting, like
Yeah.
he's doing something here. He's basically
There.
almost like taking like this like, okay, we're now in the real world, not in the
Yeah.
Hitchcockian like we're gonna do this shot for shot, but we're gonna do it in the real world.
Yeah. It's definitely a choice at that
Yeah,
point. Like
exactly.
there's something there. But yeah, it's not. There's not conviction in it, and so
No,
it kind of feels off, right?
nope, not at
Um.
all.
Yeah. Also, I thought, what did what did you think about the choice of green?
Choice of
Um,
green. What do you mean?
the the choice of green. So in the Gus Van Sant movie, for the title screen, instead of black, he chooses green.
Yeah.
And green shows up a lot. Like it's a big color in the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So
okay. So yeah, now I picked up on what you were asking about. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know.
I don't know what to do with it. Yeah.
I did. I mean, there was part of me that was hoping it was literally a shot by shot, because just on a fully technical level, that's an interesting exercise, because it begs the question: is if you were to basically do it this exact same way that Hitchcock did it, can it be as good, or is there some je ne sais quoi to the way Hitchcock got performances or shot film or something that you can't recreate? I think that's an interesting question, which was shot to hell about 15 minutes into the movie when I realized, oh no, this is not actually shot for film.
Yeah, no.
They're clearly adding some narrative into this to fill out, characters and things like that. So
yeah, I mean, I do think like what you were saying, if you tried to control as many variables about a film and then maybe let something new like the sound, free range on that, or something, it doesn't make or break the movie. Maybe you have just cast Nicolas Cage as Norman Bates, and or do something like that. You just let one variable go wild, but I think it's not nearly as bad as what people remember it as this worst movie in the world. It's not. I think I was hoping that I would like it. I didn't like it. But
I did like Viggo Mortensen in it.
I thought that was fun. I also liked this is the second movie that came out in 1998 that had Julianne Moore and Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers in it.
Yeah.
If you're listening, can you guess? I'm gonna I'll give you a 5-second chance to guess what the second movie is.
I can think of at least two of our listeners that will probably know right off the top of their heads.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell them right now, and if they're going to be mad, it's The Big Lebowski. So, yeah. So, Psycho and The Big Lebowski, Eskimo brothers of two great actors. Kind of.
No, let's just say 1.25.
One great actor and kind of a guy that shows up in some movies every once in a while, and it's fun to watch.
And is in a band that no one really likes anymore.
Is more interesting as a character from this band than in the band. Yeah.
Oh man. But I was pleased. This was a good idea, Jameson. This was your idea to do all the Psycho movies, and I am pleased. This was a good way to round out Halloween.
Yeah, and I know we're over. We promised 60 minutes, but we can end now and keep it close-ish.
Yeah.
So
I'm done with that.
All right. Well, happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I wasn't happy Halloweening you, Blake.
No, I was happy Halloweening you.
Oh. Well,
I don't care about our listeners. They can have a happy or a sad Halloween. I don't care.
Talk to you later, Blake. Bye.
Bye.
Oh. Stay in studio.